students, welcome to the exam rat. So today we'll start with our unit number 2 algebra part 2, that is chapter number 3, linear equations in two variables. Okay, so in class 9th session we have studied about linear equation in one variable only, right? So in class 10th the chapter will be of there will be the level of the chapter will be high than as compared to the class 9th. So in this chapter we will be learning about the two variable. So before explaining that, I would like to tell you that if you are new to our platform, please visit and subscribe and just go through our website. You will be getting the PDF notes there, and in case of any doubts and queries, please let us know in the comments. Okay, so let's just start with our chapter number 3, that is linear equation in two variables. Right. So in class 9th we have studied about linear equations but in one variable only. So what is this term two variable means? So if you people have seen my last video, that is polynomials, I told you what are variables. They can be any alphabets, they can be represented by any alphabet, either A, B, C, X, Y, whatever you like. They are generally represented by these alphabets, right? So basically the two variable means that in a particular equation, in a particular given equation, two different variables will be there. Okay, in a particular given equation, two different variables are there. So what does that exactly means? It means that the example of linear equation in two variable can be 2x minus 3y plus 2. As you can see in this equation, that it has x as the variable and it has y as the variable. So x and y, they are two different variables present in a single equation, right? So that is why this is known as the linear equation in the two variable, right? So this is what we called as a linear equation. Let's just have a look on the standard form of linear equation and what does these variables denote, right? So let's just start with our linear equation. So linear equation in two variable, that is x and y, means the standard form will be ax plus by plus c equals to 0, where a, b, c, they are the real numbers. ABC are the real numbers. They are known as the coefficients of the variable. They are known as the coefficients of variable. So basically, if you are not aware of this term coefficient, so coefficient, basically what do you mean by coefficient is, coefficient is basically any constant term which generally comes beside this variable is known as the coefficient. Okay, for example, the coefficient of y is b, the coefficient of x is a, right? The constant term which are present beside the variable is known as the coefficient. So a, b, c, they are the real numbers and they are the coefficient of variable x and y respectively. And what is c? I hope you people know from our earlier sessions that c is the constant term in this particular standard equation, right? So this is what we called as a standard equation. So basically the solution of such equation is a pair of values, one for x and one for y. It means that it contains both x and y as the variable, right? Every linear equation, they has infinitely many solutions, can be represented on the certain line. So what does this thing means? So it particularly means that, for example, this is a certain line which we have plotted on the graph. So in class 9th sessions in coordinate geometry as well as in linear equation, I told you how to plot the graphs. So there are certain equations which are the solution of these graphs, for example this. And what we do in class 9th is basically we just put x equals to 0 or x equals to 1, and then we find out the value of the y. Okay, by putting it equal to the 0 we will find out the value of y and then we plot the graph. So you have noticed that there is not only one value of x and y. there can be more than one value of x and y. That is why every linear equation has infinitely many solutions that can be represented on the certain line. This is what it means. I hope you people understand. Okay, so let's just have a look here also, that a linear equation, basically in this chapter you will be, the main thing you will be learning is to solve the linear equation by different methods, because in class 9th you have studied only one variable, and the one variable thing is easy as compared to the two variable thing. So in this chapter you will be learning to solve the linear equations in two variables by three methods. These are mentioned here, have a look on them. Our first method is basically the substitution method, right? This is known as the substitution method. In my next slide I will explain you one by one what is substitution method, what is elimination method, and what is cross multiplication method. Now the question is that if in the exams it is not mentioned that either you have to solve it by substitution or by elimination or by cross multiplication, then what you have to do? What you have to do is you can solve it by any of the way. If it is not mentioned by which you can have to solve this linear equation, you can just solve it by any of the way. But if in the question it is already mentioned, like there is a certain question in which it is mentioned that you have to solve it by substitution method, so you just have to apply the substitution method. If you apply certain other methods, then you won't be able to get the marks, okay, for that particular question. Okay, so this is what basically the three methods, you can just remind them. These are substitution, elimination, and cross multiplication method, right? So let's move forward. Okay, so before moving forward, here is a table. So basically in NCERT this table is also included. This is the basic of this chapter. Okay, so you people will ask that how many question, what are the types of the question will be asked from this table. So I have prepared the questions which can be come from this table, and as always I will just explain those questions with the solutions in the end, right? So please, first of all you just have to look on the table, and you just have to know that what these terms exactly means and what are they. Okay, so if you people remember that in class 9 session we have studied about lines, like intersecting lines, we have studied about parallel lines, and we have also studied about the lines which come like collinear points. Okay, so in this chapter we will be learning another type of line, that is coincident lines. We will be studying about this line too in this particular class. Okay, so if you people don't know about intersecting lines or about parallel lines, so basically you can just go through our website and you can have a look on the class 9th session, and you can easily understand. There is a very brief explanation of what these lines are. So here I'll be giving you a very small intro about these lines. So first of all, the intersecting lines, as the name suggests, intersecting lines are the lines which generally intersect at a particular point. They generally intersect at the particular point. Like this is the point where these two lines intersect. This is what we call as the intersect lines, where they meet each other in the normal language. Okay, the parallel lines are basically those lines which never meet with each other. They are always present at the equal distances from each other. They can never meet each other. Okay, they never meet. Now the coincident line is basically the collinear point. The line which is formed by the collinear point is known as the coincident line. The straight line is known as the coincident line, right? This is what we called as the coincident line. Let me just write here, this is intersecting line which meet or intersect at a particular point. The parallel lines which do not meet at all, and there is a single line which we called as the coincident line, right? So we are very well aware of these types of the lines. So let's just have a look on them, that what are they. So In the case of intersecting lines, these are the given condition. Please have a look on these conditions and you will be getting the questions related to them only. So our given condition is a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. Okay, so you can see that in this particular picture two lines are given, so the standard form will be a1 x1 plus b1 y1 plus c1 equals to 0 for first line, and second line will be something like this: a2 x2 b2 y2 plus c2 equals to 0. Right, so you can easily understand that a1 and a2, they are the coordinates or coefficients of xn, x1 and x2. b1 and b2, they are the coefficients of y1 and y2. Okay, so basically the condition is that in case of intersecting lines, a1 by a2 is never equal to b1 by b2. So if you get this condition, it means the lines are intersecting, and the lines, even the lines are intersecting, that they only intersect at this particular point. So when the lines are intersecting, only one solution is there. That is why we call this solution as unique, because only one solution is there. Right, let's move forward towards our another, that is your coincident line. This is a single straight line. So in this case also, a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2 equals to c1 by c2. Every of the term of the two lines, they will be equal to each other, and it will be having infinitely many solutions. What do you mean by infinitely solutions? It means the thing I have explained you in my first slide, that for a single line there can be infinitely many solutions, and this is what it means. It got a lot of solutions. Okay, so this is the last, that is the parallel line. So in the case of parallel lines, a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2, but that is not equals to c1 by c2. Right, so in the case of parallel lines, you can easily see that they do not meet, no intersection or meeting. So in that case, it is having no solution. No solution is there in case of the parallel lines. So these are the consistency. In the case of intersecting lines and in the case of coincident line, we call them consistent because we are getting certain solutions there. But in the case of parallel lines, we are not getting any solutions. Right, in the case of parallel lines, we are not getting any solutions, and that is why we called it as the inconsistent. So here is a brief table, that in case of intersecting line, there is a one common point, so one solution. In case of parallel lines, no common point, no solution. And in case of the this single coincident lines, infinitely many solutions are there. So parallel line is always inconsistent, whereas the intersecting as well as coincident lines are always consistent. I hope it is clear from this table. That is why I prepared a pictorial table here, so you people could understand by and you people don't have to worry, you will be getting the PDF notes of this particular video. Okay, so you can easily just copy down this table, or this table is also mentioned in your NCERT. But please do not forget to mention this thing. This is not mentioned in NCERT. This is only written in the paragraphs. This is not mentioned in the table. Wherever this table is present in the NCERT, you just have to add another column and write that in case of parallel lines, that is inconsistent, and in case of intersecting and coincident lines, it is always consistent. Am I right? So now we will just discuss all the methods for solving the linear equations. Okay, so the methods. So basically our first method is the substitution method, right? So the substitution method is very easy. You can have a look on these steps. So our first step is substitute, means to to exchange the places. Right, this is what we called as a substitute. So basically the two equations will be given. You have to find out the any of the variables value, like you can, like x plus 3y equals to 6, so you can find out the value of x equals to 6 minus 3y. Now substitute means to exchange the values, so put this value of x in the next equation. So what we'll be getting is 12 minus 6y minus 3y equals to 12, or 12 minus 9y equals to 12, right? So we will be getting like y equals to 0 after solving this, and when we can just put y equals to 0, just put the y equals to 0 in this particular equation and getting x equals to 6. I hope this is clear to you. Let's move to the elimination method. What is this elimination method? Okay, so elimination method, as you can see, elimination is to subtract, right? So this is what we meant by the elimination term. Okay, so first of all, what you have to do is any term, either x or variable y, you just have to make sure that both the equations have the equal variable. Like this is the particular equation, 2x plus 3y equals to 8, and 4x plus 3y equals to 1. So you can, you know that 3y and 3y are already same. Then to subtract, I told you what you have to do is just change the signs. This will be cancelled out. You will be getting minus 2x equals to 7, right? So x will be equals to minus 7 by 2, right? This is what we get, x. Okay, so if we put this value of x in this particular equation, we will be getting something like this, and we can easily calculate the y. This is very easy, very easy. So 3y equals to 15. So y will be equals to 5 in this case. I hope you people understand what is elimination method, and in case the variables are not same, you can just multiply the equations to make the variables same, right? So our next method is basically the cross multiplication method. This is something very new. So we are studying here in cross multiplication is, what is a cross multiplication? There is a very simple diagram for this, and when you follow this diagram, you will be very easily solve this question. Just write x, y and 1 like this. Then you have to write in a sequence like b1, b2, c1, c2, then a1, a2 and b1, b2, and you just have to put the cross multiplication signs like this, and what you will be getting is x will be equals to b1 c2 minus b2 c1 divided by this whole thing, that is a1 b2 minus a2 b1. By this simple diagram we can find out the value of x. Similarly, y is equals to c1 a2 minus c2 a1 divided by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. This is what we called as cross multiplication, and we call this cross multiplication because in this method cross multiplication is used. You can see here, you can just cross multiply the two terms and you will be getting the values of x and y. So this is about the cross multiplication. You just have to arrange the variables and coefficients like this, and by just putting this formula, this is not a formula, like we are getting these terms by cross multiplying them and also by cross multiplying them, so you will be easily getting the answer by this. So our last the concept of this chapter is basically the something very new, that is upstreams and downstream problems. These are very important problems in this chapter. They carry very more marks. So first of all, what is upstream and what is downstream? You can easily see in this picture. In the case of upstream, the direction of boat and streams are opposite. Basically, when the boat is there in the stream, in the water, then when the direction is opposite, then we called it as the upstream. That is why in case of upstream we generally take x minus y, okay, as the speed, because in that case it means when they are going opposite like this, so the speeds they are cancelled out. X is the speed of the boat in the still water, and y is the speed of the boat in the stream. So we can just subtract them to get the upstream. In case of the downstream, what you will be getting is, you just have to know that in case of downstream, both the directions are in the same direction. So in that case we will just add x plus y, speed will be speed like this, where x will be the speed of boat in the uh, still water, and the y is the speed of the boat in the stream, right? So let's have a look on this question. I have mentioned a problem here. So basically you have to calculate the x and y value. So let the speed of boat in still water be x, and the speed of the boat in the stream be y kilometer per hour. So upstream speed will be x minus y, and downstream stream will be x plus y. So why this is negative? Because in this case they are opposite, and in this case they are in the same direction. I hope you people are understanding what I'm trying to teach you, right? So first of all, the time taken to cover 30 kilometers upstream. So you always know that speed is equals to distance divided by time, right? This is what we call a speed. So we have to find out the time. So time will be equals to speed distance upon speed. So distance is given as 30. So the speed is for upstream is x minus y, so the time will be 30 upon x minus y hours. Similarly for downstream the distance is 44, so it is 44 upon x plus y hours, and it is given in the question that both of these the total time is 10 hours. So we will add both the times and will be equal to 10. So this question can be solved by either of the method, either substitution, either elimination, or either cross multiplication. But that x minus y and x plus y are very difficult to solve like subsequently. That is why we put x plus y, 1 upon x plus y equals to u, and 1 upon x minus y equals to v, right? So we will be getting like 40. Like you just have to put, like in this particular question, time taken to cover 40 kilometer upstream is 40 upon x minus y, because it is upstream. For 55 kilometer downstream is 55 upon x plus y. So these are the two equations we are getting. So we will just put, and we will be getting like this: 30u plus 44v equals to 10, right? And so we will just write down here 30u plus 44v equals to 10, and 40u plus 55v is equals to let's just have a look. I guess 13 it was. Yeah, the 40u plus 55v equals to 13. So these are the equations. First of all, you for elimination or substitution, for elimination method, just make them equal. So we will divide this equation by 4 and divide this by 3. So we will be getting 120u plus a for 4 is 16, 176v equals to 40, and here we'll be getting 120u plus 165v equals to 39, right? So we will just subtract them. We will just make the signs opposite, and we will be getting something like this. So here 11v will be equals to 1. This is what we get, right? So v will be equals to 1 by 11. So here we are getting this. So we will be getting v equals to 1 by 11. Okay, 1 by 11. So put this value of v in this particular equation. You will be getting like this, and after solving this we are getting u equals to 1 by 5. So certain there is a problem which the children still generally do. The students generally take this as the speed and this as the speed, but do not forget that this was our u and this was our v. So we have to solve it again, right? So this is our v. So v is equals to 1 by 11. It means this. It means x plus y is equals to 11, and x minus y is equals to 5, something like this. So when we solve it, we can just simply add it, and we will be getting something like this: nx will be equals to 8 kilometers per hour, right? And y, after putting here, we can just put the value, and we will be getting y equals to 3 kilometers per hour. Let's just have a look on this the slide. What was the answers? So our answers was 3 kilometers per hour for the stream and 8 kilometer per hour for the boat. This is what we get as the final answers. So I hope this upstream and downstream problems are clear to you people. So let's move forward towards our first exercise. That is, I told you that I'll tell you certain problems which are based on the first exercise, that table which is mentioned there. So this is those questions. So first of all, look at these questions. Here these equations are given like this. These are the two equations. Okay, what you have to do is, you know that a1 a2 divide will be equal to 3 by 2. Similarly, b1 by b2 is 2 by minus 2 by 3, and c1 by c2 will be 5 by 7. So none of them, they are equal to each other. It means when they are not equal to each other, it means that they are intersecting lines, they are consistent, and they have unique solution. This is how you have to solve the problem. You just have to put the value of a1 a2 b1 b2 and c1 c2, and depending on that table, you will just have to find out that whether the given pair of equations are intersecting, coincident or parallel, whether they are consistent or inconsistent, and how many solutions will be there for that particular equation. Right, so let's have a look on other questions too. You can also solve either of them, like you can just solve this one. So this is 3 by 2x plus 5 by 3y. This is in the form of fraction, but you people don't have to worry. You can just take out the LCM of this particular thing, and after taking out the LCM, you can just easily solve this question. You will be getting this equation, 9x plus 10y equals to 42, and in this particular equation was 9x minus 10y equals to 14. These are the two equations. So what we'll do is, we will just a1 by a2 equals to 1, b1 by b2 will be equals to minus 1. So since they are not equal, it means it is also intersecting and consistent as well as unique solutions. I hope it is clear to you people. Let's move forward with our next type of the question from the same category. So it is already given that the system of equations have infinitely many solutions. It means it is coincident line. Only coincident line have many solutions. So in the case of many solutions, basically a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2 is not equals to c1 by c2. So in that particular case, you know that in this particular a1 is 1 and the a2 is 3. So 1 by 3. Okay, so a1 is equals to a2. So minus k by 6 will be equals to 1 by 3. Am I right? So you just have to solve it and you will be getting k equals to minus 2. This is how you have to just find out the value of k. You just have to pay attention here. What is written here? This is infinitely many solution. It means it must strike that they are coincident lines, what are their terms and what are their solutions. Okay, so this is we are going to study in this particular chapter. I hope you people understand this thing, right? So this is infinitely many solution. Let's move to forward towards the substitution method problems. So I'll just solve it down. You people just see. This is x equals to 4y plus 1 and 3x minus 2y equals to 13. So value of the x is already given in equation number 1. Put the value of x from 1 in 2. Okay, so you will be getting 3 4y plus 1 minus 2y equals to 13. You can just take out the, multiply them and take out the solutions, and you will be getting 10y equals to 10 and y will be equals to 1. Put the value of y in equation number 1. X will be equals to 5. I hope the substitution method is clear to you. I am just telling you again that substitution means is to exchange the places. You just have to take out any one of the value and put it the another equation, so that the equation have only one variable. Here I have put the value of x in the other equation, so that the other equation will have all the variables in the form of y, and after taking out the value of y, we can just put in any of the equation and we will be getting the value of the x. I hope it is clear to you now. So next is your elimination method. This is your elimination one. This is your elimination method. So in this particular method, you just have to make sure that both the equation has at least one variable similar, Okay, and then you just subtract them by making their signs opposite. So you can see that no and nothing or no variable is equal, so you can just multiply it by 5 and you can multiply it by 3 to make them equal. You will be getting 50x plus 15y equals to 55, and here you will be getting 33x plus 15y equals to 21. You can just see that we have made this 15y in equal in both the cases. What you will do is just subtract it, so we'll make the signs opposite like this, and then you can just solve it down. 50 minus 33 will be equals to 17x. This will be cancelled out, will be equals to 34. X will be equals to 2. Now you can just substitute this value of x in either of the equation. Like I'm substituting 10 into 2 plus 3y equals to 11. So we will be getting 20 plus 3y equals to 11, or y equals to it is like minus 9 by 3, or y equals to minus 3. I hope it is clear to you now that what is the elimination method. Both the elimination and substitution methods are very easy, very easy. You can just easily remember what are they by just their name, that substitution is the method in which you have to substitute the value so that the variable in the other equation will become only one. Okay, in the elimination method you just have to make sure that one of the variable will become equal and cancelled out, and you can get the value of another one, and then you can just substitute that value in any of the equation and find out the method, find out the another variables. Okay, so next is your cross multiplication method. So what you have to do is just make sure like this is x, this is y, this is 1. So you can just write like this, like b1 b2 c1 c2 a1 a2, like this you can just write it out. Okay, and you will be getting like this. So our x will be equals to b1 c2. So what is b1 here? b1 is 51 and c2 is minus 9. So minus 45 minus b1 c2 minus b2 c1. Sorry, I'm really sorry. That's why it is very important to mention them here. You can just write like this. p1 is 5, b2 is 2. c1 is minus 9 and c2 is 4. a1 is 8, 3, and b1 b2 is 5 and 2. Now you can just write like this. X equals to minus 5 into minus 4 is minus 20 minus minus 18 divided by this thing. So you will be getting 16 minus 15. So it is something like minus 2. X will be equals to minus 2, and you can see the answer is very clear here. So y will be equals to this a to c1 thing. Okay, so you will be getting like minus 27. Okay, you will be getting something like minus 27 by cross multiplying this, and by this minus 32, and here you're getting 1. So the answer will be 5. So y will be equals to 5. In cross multiplication method, the students are very afraid of doing this method, but this is very easy method. You just have to draw this diagram, put the values in this diagram, and you itself will put the values in this equation, and you will be getting the value of x and y without doing any equation, without performing any calculation. This is very easy part. So let's forward towards our another word problem. So here are the important question of the linear equation, the word problems. Students find it very difficult to solve the word problems, but for me these are very easy. Solve them, we can see. Okay, so first of all, our problem is the area of rectangle. So what is the area of rectangle? Is basically area is equals to L into B, right? This is the area of rectangle. So the area of rectangle get reduced by 9. So let the length be x and breadth be y. So the area of rectangle is reduced by 9 square unit. It means area will be xy. It is reduced by 9 means 9 is subtracted. If the length is reduced by 4, x minus 4, and the length is reduced by 5 and the breadth is reduced by 3, This will be the equation. Now you just have to solve this equation, right? So how we'll solve this equation? Xy minus 9 will be equals to xy minus 5y, just multiplying them. Yeah, I'm not doing much, I'm just multiplying them. This is cancelled out. You will be getting equation like 3x plus 5y minus 24 will be the equation. Oh, I'm sorry. This will be like xy minus 9 and this is plus 15. So it is like 3x minus 5y will be equals to 15 plus 9, I guess. I think there is some problem with this particular question or with this particular solution. So it's like this. So you will be getting this. Okay, so I'm sorry, here I've made a certain mistake. The breadth is increased by 3, so it is plus 3. Okay, so breadth is increased by 3, so it means that it will be xy minus 5y plus 3x and minus 15. Okay, so by this we can just I will just erase this, and I'll tell you that how to do this. Just arrange these equations. 3x minus 5y will be equals to minus 5y plus 6 will be equal, okay, equals to plus 6. This is we are getting as the equation, right? This is what we get as the equation, that 3x minus 5y equals to plus 6. This is our first equation. Let it mark as 1. Second is, if we increase the length by 3 and breadth by 2, the area is increased by 67. So we will be getting xy plus 3y plus 2x plus 6 plus equals to 6xy plus 67. So this will be cancelled out. We will be getting 2x plus 3y equals to 61. This is our second equation. Now just solve it by any of the method. Okay, you can just solve it by any of the method. You can do the substitution one and you can do the elimination also. So for elimination, multiply by 2 and multiply this by 3. So we will be getting 6x minus 10y equals to 12, and in the second, in the second part we will be getting 6x plus 9y equals to 183. Okay, when we just subtract it, opposite the signs, you will be getting y equals to minus 183 by the plus 12. So you will be getting like minus 19y. Minus 19y will be equals to negative of, you can just subtract it out and you will be getting 171, right? Just to cross these signs and you will be getting y equals to 9. So y, your breadth is equals to 9 units. Put this value of y in this equation and you will be getting 2x plus 27 equals to 61, or 2x will be equals to, like this we will solve this, 34, or x will be equal to 17 units. This is how we can just solve out the word problems. Whatever is written in the question, just have a look on them and you can just put and make the equations. The main point in the word problem is to make the equations, and once you have made all the equations, then you can easily solve by either of the method. So our last question is basically also a word problem, so you have a better understanding in practice of the word problems, right? A two-digit number. Okay, so basically a two-digit number, let's suppose 60. In case of the 60, no, let's just not suppose 60, let's just suppose some another number like 61. So in that particular number 61, there is 60 plus 1. It is not 6 plus 1 is not the scenario. 60 plus 1, it means the number which comes on the 10th digit is 10 into the number, right? So basically let the number on 1's digit be x and 10th digit be y. So when we form the number, what we'll do is, when 61 is formed, 6 multiply by 10 plus 1. Multiply always the 10th number with 10 and then add the 1's number. So number will be 10y plus x. Am I right? So it is given that a two-digit number is 4 more than 6 times the sum of its digits. So this is our first number. So basically here they are taken like the number is 10x plus y, but I have taken 10y plus x. Let's just do it by this way. You can just do it like this also. Okay, so basically 10y plus x is our number, right? So what you will do is you can just know that this number is equals to 6 times the sum of the digits plus 4. Okay, don't write 10y plus x or 10x plus y, because it is the sum of the digits. It means 6 and 1, right? So what you will do is just solve these equations out like this. You can solve these equations. 4y minus 5x equals to 4. Okay, so our next is basically the another equation. If 18 is subtracted, the condition 2 is if 18 is subtracted from the number, if we subtract the 18 from the number, this is the number, if we subtract the 18, the digits are reversed. When the digits are reversed, it will be something like this, right? If the digits will be reversed, it will be something like this. So now this you can just solve this equation out and you will be getting 9y minus 18 equals to 9x. Am I right? You are getting this equation and you can just get x minus y equals to minus 18. Oh, minus 2. This is the equation you will be getting, right? This is the particular equation that we get in this particular scenario. Now you just have to solve them using any of the method and you will be getting the answer. Okay, then whenever you will get the value of y, you can just multiply it by 10 and then add the ones digit and you will be getting the whole number. So this is all about this linear equation thing. I hope you people could know that what is the linear equation in two variables, how we can just solve these, and what are the importance of doing these. Okay, so this is very easy chapter. What you have to know is what are the two variables that we are studying about, what are the different methods that we have studied about, the substitution, elimination, as well as cross multiplication. Also the upstream and downstream questions are very much important. Let me tell you, they are very important. So do not avoid those questions and you can just solve them down. You can just note it down in your notebooks. You will be getting the PDF notes. In case you people unable to solve the question, please let me know in the comments. Me and my team will definitely reach you. I hope you people enjoyed this session and thank you for watching. Have a lovely day.